So what I would say is write down what your priorities are. Make sure you communicate that effectively with your team members and your clients, and know that, we're in a world that some people want to be virtual, but we try to be present. We try to be in person as much as we can, unless it's an absolute crisis where someone's traveling or someone's stuck, because of a delayed flight or something like that. We meet in person at least once a week because you got to keep that continuity of culture. And then the last thing is, I would say, is recap what you're doing. So for our clients, our clients check in with us once a month. We do a strategy session. So we recap, okay, this is what we've done. What else do you need done? Always ask how you can improve. No one's perfect.
We are welcoming back Aakash to That Entrepreneur Show. This is maybe his third or fourth show since we've started a few years ago, but he's always someone I know that can add a lot of value to our community. Aakash, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I'm excited to touch on all the latest in your world. If you've been following him and Elevate, he's always up to something new. He serves on several boards, and now he's doing a lot of work with the Tampa Club. I'd love to start there and talk about what your role consists of.
Yeah, currently I'm the president of the Tampa Club. The Tampa Club is a private members club on the top floor of the Bank of America building. So it's the 42nd and 41st floors. It's beautiful views of the whole city, downtown, and even you can extend to St. Pete, Clearwater. It's one of the tallest buildings that has an outdoor restaurant and bar in the Southeast. So it's a great view. As the board president for this year, it's more about just making sure members are having great experience and we're recruiting the right members. So if you've not been there, Vincent, I invite you and your listeners to come by and take you for a tour.
What attracted you to start working with that organization?
I think, in our business, we're always working with new people that are doing different things in the community. And I think the Tampa Club, being downtown, being the cool hip spot, that people are back to work in the office now, you get to meet a lot of people that are new, and they are also looking to get involved. And I think it's a great place for just to be around. And then as far as programming, we've got great speakers that help the business owners professionally and personally.
I love that. Well, that's something you've always done, help people professionally and personally. You launched Elevate, I don't know how many years ago, and now it's continuing to make headlines. Let's talk about what you do with Elevate.
Yeah, so 12 and a half years ago now, February 1, 2012. So, I started Elevate Inc. I got the idea basically in 2011. Simply put, I had a bunch of friends that were relocating back here after college. So I came back here after college and kind of bounced around different jobs. And I really fell in love with the community. And I went to high school here, so I went away for college and came back. And then a few years after I came back, I had some friends that were thinking, hey, man, you know what you're doing, you like it, you like the community, but we want to get more involved. We don't know where to start. So I was kind of strategizing with friends in the beginning. I said, you know what, there's probably a business case for this. So I didn't know how to write a business plan. I Googled how to write a business. I talked to about 50 different CEOs, similar to what you're doing, and just getting mentors, advice. And they said, you know what, you can not only help people, you can charge people. And so I started 2012 February, and our mission has never changed. We want to help people learn about the community, grow in their brand, and connect with others. And so it's been fun. Today we have 32 clients and 6 employees, and every day is different.
That is one of the best parts of entrepreneurship. Every day certainly is different. I'd love to talk about how you grew your team. I know it's not easy now as I'm starting to do these things behind the scenes with the podcast production. What were some of the bigger challenges you faced in finding some team members that were good fits, solid fits?
People think that a public relations firm or a marketing firm needs good writers. You really need good time management people, right? So writing is just one component, but at the end of the day, we might have an event at 8:30 in the morning, and later that night we might have an event at 5:30. So you've got to plan their day accordingly, and of course make time and to network. So you kind of are looking for people that are outgoing, but also know how to enhance their networking skills by time management.
Very well said. Time management, something everybody can struggle with if you're not organized. And it seems like you've done a great job at attracting great talent. What do you think the I know how it's grown for you. Now you're up to over 30 clients, which is truly incredible. Congrats on that. Where do you see this evolving to over the next year now?
We've got clients that have a Tampa base, and they have other offices throughout, the nation, potentially helping go and traveling and seeing if we can kind of mimic or kind of copy what we've done here and advise their other offices. The question is going to become down to, is the other communities they're in just as open as our Tampa business community? I mean, you and I have talked about events that we've got a great community of leaders that want to give back, that want to help mentor, that want to help see others succeed. I don't know what it's like in other communities. I only hear stories from friends that are thinking about moving back and people that I get to recruit back here through boards that I serve on. But I think personally, it's just taking this message to other cities.
Tampa, it's certainly a unique ecosystem. Like you said, people are very kind and willing to help others, especially if you're going out there networking. How Aakash and I met about 10 years ago now, right after grad school, me going out there, trying to network with mentors and community leaders. What other boards are you involved with right now that we could show some love to?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I chair the Early Learning Coalition of Hillsborough County. So that is our VPK board for Hillsborough County. I've been the chair for just over 10 years now. It's a governor appointed board. We're always looking for more board members to volunteer. You don't have to be in the education system. You have to be in the private sector and you want to give back. I don't have kids. It's a very good board that teaches any child deserves quality access to education. So reading is so important, and that's really what we want to focus on is quality access to education and early literacy. So that's the number one board I'm the chair of. You mentioned I'm the president of the Tampa Club. I'm also a Governor DeSantis appointee to Hillsborough Community College Board. So I get education on both sides early and then, of course, on the community college level. And that board impacts almost 45,000 students throughout Hillsborough County. And you can imagine with the trades that are getting popular, like plumbing and HVAC and auto mechanic, community college is getting popular, enrollment's rising. We have 5 campuses throughout Hillsborough County: Plant City, Ybor City, Brandon, Dale Mabry, and South Shore and Apollo Beach. So 5 campuses that, all the people that are moving here and that are graduating high school and they're not sure what they want to do, they start off at community college. Number one, it's cost effective. And number two, they can kind of find out what they want to do in their career. I did that for dual enrollment. We had graduation last year, and our youngest was 14 and our oldest graduate was 79. So we expand literally every generation. So I'm on that board. I also serve on the foundation of Hillsborough Community College as being a trustee liaison. And then I'm on the Indo-US Chamber Board of Directors, as well as the Tampa Bay Economic Development Corporation. So the Tampa Bay EDC's role is to recruit these corporations that are relocating here and trying to make sure they're enjoying their time in the Tampa Bay community.
Thank you for sharing all of that. Everyone out there's a lot of ways to get involved. He just shared, but I'm going to circle back to what we said before this conversation with time management. You're someone who is involved in a lot of boards, plus all the things you have going on with your own company. What are some time management tips or tricks or some things that work for you that we can pass on to everyone listening on today?
Prioritize your responsibilities. So for instance, like Mondays is definitely an administrative day because I've got to do payroll. I've got to catch up with clients. I probably got to do invoicing certain times of the month. I have to check in with staff we do a staff meeting. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, there's always events that we have to figure out who's going first, who's on second, who's on third. And then Fridays, of course, is getting ready for the week ahead. So we do a reminder of what's up for next week. So what I would say is write down what your priorities are. Make sure you communicate that effectively with your team members and your clients, and know that, we're in a world that some people want to be virtual, but we try to be present. We try to be in person as much as we can, unless it's an absolute crisis where someone's traveling or someone's stuck, because of a delayed flight or something like that. We meet in person at least once a week because you got to keep that continuity of culture. And then the last thing I would say is recap what you're doing. So for our clients, our clients check in with us once a month. We do a strategy session. So we recap, okay, this is what we've done. What else do you need done? Always ask how you can improve. No one's perfect. And so for us on the time management, on the effectiveness, is making sure you're recapping and asking for additional feedback. And we have clients ask us as well, hey, what did we do this month that you think we can improve on? And sometimes the other part of it is just being very honest. I had a client not too long ago that said, hey, they started about a month and a half ago, and they said, hey, what are we doing that you think we should improve on? I'm like, be on time. The easiest thing that you can do is control is if we tell you it's a 5:30 event, be there at 5:20 and be present. Our motto has always been, learn, connect, grow, which I mentioned earlier, and then be bold, be brave, and be you. So we don't want you to change your lifestyle, but be bold, be out there because you're here to raise awareness for your business, and be yourself. Just tell your story the way you're supposed to tell your story. We can help guide you and take those risks, and you're taking those risks by working with us. And so we appreciate that.
Incredible advice all throughout that answer. And of course, highlighting be authentic and be you. He highlights also, and I thought that was great that you touched on that, as easy as it is to work remote and do all these things, having that continuous culture emphasis, you're always highlighting that moment, right? You have to be there once a week because you lose that human to human interaction. It's inspiring just because I've seen you grow and grow and grow, and now you're involved in all these boards. What else can we look forward to seeing in your world, Aakash? What's next from all these things you have going on now as this is going to be released in August?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's a new year. Remember that Tampa Bay is one of the fastest growing communities in the nation. If you've got friends and family that are thinking about moving here, this is the time. You can read about the election and how it's going to affect the world. I think you can tell everyone that that Tampa Bay's been in a good spot, whether it's due to the pandemic. I think people finally just realize that the quality of life in Florida is great and they won't move here. We see companies coming here every day. So I would say what's on the horizon is the next biggest company you think would never relocate here will relocate here. And so be ahead of the game. And I'm not just saying the Tampa Bay area. I mean, it could be in Florida, but think about it. If they're going to be in Fort Myers or Punta Gorda, they're going to somehow stop or have an office in Tampa. I met someone over the weekend who had an office in down South Florida and they said, hey, you know what? I need access to a better airport. And so Tampa's got a better airport. So they're going to open an office here just because people can fly in here and they can probably have meetings here, which are more affordable. So remember, we are affordable. We have the best airport in the world, and we are continuing to grow. So the question to ask you and your team members and everyone listening is, how is your team being part of this change? Because it's literally a shift in culture. We were not a city on the rise 8 years ago. We are the city to be in, or the community to be in, as the last 4 years. I think we've gotten every accolade from Forbes to Wallet Hub, or as Mayor Jane Castor, the city of Tampa mayor, says, this city is going to change the most ever in these next 10 years. And we're ready for it. We were ready for it. Now we're really here. We're in the middle of it. So for us at Elevate Inc. and all of our clients, we're adjusting that we're going to be part of it. So how do you be part of it?
I love it. And I love how much Tampa is growing. Even when I got here in 2009, it's certainly not the same city after the Super Bowl. Things certainly changed. I love how much you do for the community, and I thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come back and check in with these entrepreneurs out here. Before we find out which is the best place to contact you on now, whether it's LinkedIn or email, this question may have changed since your first time coming on the show. You may remember I asked which entrepreneur you would choose to sit down with, dead or alive, throughout history. At this point of your life, with all the things you have going on, who would be most beneficial to speak with?
Wow, General, it's a great question. I think, I still want to meet, just sitting down with Bill Gates. I think I mentioned that once before. I think, we talk about time management. We talk about how to be successful and positive. I think over the years, he's been pretty successful and positive. Warren Buffett's another one who just kind of just doesn't listen to all the noise around him and clears his focus on what he wants to achieve, which is successful. And so those are entrepreneurs, you put them on your list, but you realize that in Tampa Bay, there are people that I've had the chance to meet with or be in board meetings with that are just as capable and probably just as wealthy. So it's kind of great to be around. But so I put those on my list. And then personally, it's just every week I want to try to meet 2 new people. And every month I want to try to meet 10 new people. When I meet them, I'm talking about sit down for coffee, lunch, or breakfast, or whatever it is, and say, what else can I be doing? So you're always growing. There's no stopping when you're an entrepreneur, right? You're always learning. And so I've had my business for 12 and a half years, like I said, and I'm still trying to figure out, who do I not know? So I pick up that list the Business Journal has in your community. This is a Power 100. Or in Florida, there's a Florida Council of 100. You can read those lists and say, hey, who do I not know? I want to meet 2 of those people every month, or 5 of those people, whatever it is. That's what we're trying to do every day.
Well, I love the advice, and I'm going to shout him out because it's something I adopted when I first met him. You challenged me to reach out to 5 or 10 people per week on LinkedIn to get my business going back in 2015. And from that point, I've leveraged LinkedIn as one of my biggest networkings. And I mean, now it's kind of spam filled like everything else. But when I was trying to acquire guests in different states, even for this show, trying to connect with people to grow the book sides of things, LinkedIn's where I went. Lights out episode as always, Aakash. Thanks again. Where can we find you online?
Sure. LinkedIn is great. Aakash M. Patel, and it's just say Board of Trustees, Hillsborough Community College. or my email is info at elevate-inc.com.
All right. Thanks for sharing, everyone. He is someone you want to add to your network. Thanks again for your time, and be sure to look out for his next episode in about 6 to 8 months, where we'll have some new update for you. The show is at That Entrepreneur Show on all social media and all podcast platforms. I am at Vincent A. Lancy on all social and YouTube. Be sure to check out the show next week as we bring on more entrepreneurs. But this week we are signing off both in the Tampa area. Aakash, great to see you. Thanks again.
Thanks, Vincent. Have a good day.